100% certainty doesn't come before you make the decision, like which house to buy. It comes as a result of having made the decision.
Moving forward with the Dekker team. Moving forward together with the Dekker team.
We are honored that for 37 years, we've been able to come alongside you, not only selling, buying, and investing in real estate over 3,117 times, but coming alongside you to build your fun, build your faith, build your fitness, build your finances, and even strengthen, heal, and flourish inside relationship. Why is that so funny?
Because you said, flourish in your relationships. And then I was just thinking, again, happy anniversary.
Don't sing again.
It's worked for us.
Go back to segment A if you want to sing. And
it's
even when
for us.
Right, but even when it came to marriage, there were moments before we got married.
Oh, yes. Both of us had those.
That we weren't 100% certain.
I was never 100% certain until after I said my vows.
And it's like that with a lot of things in life. So when we're attempting to challenge you or cause you to rethink maybe is sometimes we get wrapped into, if I have enough information, if I've done my homework, if I have the right guide, if I've had my clarity call, if I've done all my homework, then when I'm either selling the home or buying the home, then I should feel 100% certain. It's difficult for most of us to feel 100% certain about much anything until after the fact.
Yeah, you may have clarity of what's, is this what I think is the right decision? But you won't have certainty. And until after you act, after you buy, after you move in, after you sell, whatever, that old saying, hindsight's 20/20. Your mother said it the other day, hindsight's 50/50. I don't know exactly what that meant, but it was cute.
It was cute.
And so you won't know for certain, but you can manage the decision. It's like you can't steer a parked car, but you can steer a car that's moving. You can't manage a decision until after you make it. Then you can manage what's the fallout, so to speak, right? You can make minor changes, alterations. You can adjust things. You can fix things.
Right. And some examples might be changing amortization, refinancing. It might be all kinds of little moves, double up your payments. You didn't think you could, but you can. So you start with a decision to spread out the amortization, not do double up payments, not do lump sums, just make it easy to get in. And then once you're in, you're going, oh, I can do this, right? Whereas you couldn't possibly have accurately assessed every aspect of what it was going to look like, feel like, and be like once you got into the house that you want to buy.
It's like the house that we bought when we bought in Osgood. That was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was.
We thought we were going to be house poor.
We did.
And then what we found was when we moved out of the city, moved into a more rural country, village, we spent less on food. We didn't eat out as often. We didn't go shopping as often because all that was a drive away, right?
Right.
So we saved enough money that in the first couple years, we put $40,000 into the basement, renovated, built out the basement, put a hot tub in.
Remember, this is like closer to 40 years ago than not.
Yeah.
Right.
But I'm just saying that money came, we weren't certain we could handle that house.
No.
It was a big upgrade from our townhouse. And yet, after we made the decision, things became more certain as we lived out the decision.
Right. If you're thinking, well, I have the information, maybe I don't have the clarity that you said I would get. So maybe it's time for a clarity call to do the setup so that you can have your options presented in front of you, get your clarity, and then make a decision even if you don't have 100% certainty. It's okay, because I think very seldom in life do we have 100% certainty before we actually take the action.
Yep.
Now, if it's a no, then don't do it, right? If there's a certainty the other way, don't do it. But if there's a level of hesitancy, or there's a level of uneasiness, or there's a level of, I don't know exactly how this is going to work out, well, how can you possibly know?
Yeah, and we were talking earlier that your ability to make bigger decisions hinges on your previous decisions. So, for instance, when we bought our first rental properties, they seemed like big purchases. Now that was 30 years ago, 35 years ago.
Yeah, a little more. Yeah.
We were paying under $100,000, 79, 89 for an investment property, 97,000.
Yeah. That was scary.
Yeah. And now, because of the developed muscle of investing and knowing we can manage what will fall out, if anything falls out, the repairs that need to happen, the tenant issues, whatever. Now, doing a $2 million purchase on an apartment building it's still scary, but it's not even as scary as buying that original.
No, it's exponentially easier because one decision leads to more confidence in making the next decision with more certainty.
Mm-hmm.
One leads to another is what we're wanting to share with you. Like, don't get, try not, attempt not, work at not getting too wrapped up in making a decision where you're not 100% certain, because I don't expect you to be. How's that?
Yep. Clarity is often a result of a well thought out, well considered decision. It's not a prerequisite of it, but it's will happen afterward. And, even contingencies, having some margin, knowing for contingencies, like we've helped people buy homes. They get the inspection, everything looks good. And then 6 months later, the furnace conks out and it's too expensive to repair. They need a new furnace. Like stuff like that happens. It doesn't mean your decision was wrong. It means we got to now manage the property, manage the next decision. What do we buy? How do we buy it? What size? That kind of stuff, right?
Right. Because when we look at the National Association of Realtors again, repeatedly, year over year over year, what they keep saying is the biggest regret buyers tend to have is delaying the decision because of market factors, whether it's pricing or whether it's interest rates or whether it's availability, delaying that because it makes it harder and harder to get into the market down the road.
Yeah. When
it slips away.
Yeah. They're saying their biggest regret when they had the financial ability,
when they were ready
to buy, they tried to time the market. They tried to time interest rates and they didn't get in the market earlier. That's their biggest regret. Hopefully that won't be your regret.
No, we don't want it to be because that's not fun. Clarity is actually needed, just not 100% certainty. I used to think they were one and the same. Clarity and certainty. Clarity means I can see how I'm going to make it work. Clarity is I know what's on the other side. Clarity is I've figured out my numbers. I've got my information, how to make the decision. I have clarity, and I'm not necessarily looking for absolute certainty.
George S. Patton said, "A good plan violently executed now is better than a perfect plan executed next week." So the information you've been gathering isn't wrong. It's just not enough to guide you to the next step. Real clarity comes when information is filtered, applied, and ultimately acted on. And if you're wondering what all this means to you right now, that's a conversation we're glad to walk you through. And we're also glad that you joined us on Life's Inside Track, because when we move forward together, we've got this.
Moving forward with the Dekker team.